What's going on, guys? Lewis in the block back again. I've got a 2018 GMC Terrain that we're going to take care of doing some detailing on. So there's a coffee spill in the back of the vehicle back here that we're going to take care of with our extractor. And then we're going to take care of just some mild stains kind of throughout the interior. Just typical daily usage type stuff. I'm sure you guys have probably seen this before in your vehicle. So I'm going to show you some quick tips on how you can remove all of this dirt and grime without spending a whole lot of your dimes. Okay, so in the GMC Terrain, I'm gonna go ahead and the first thing I'm gonna do, which is what I recommend, pull your floor mats out. See, I got them out here on the ground. If you got your garage, which I'm doing this outside, but if you do have a garage floor, pull them out of your vehicle, get them off to the side, spray them down with some mild degreaser, and just sit those off to the side. If you got something you can set them on, I'm actually going to grab a couple sawhorses or a body stand to put these on. That way, when they dry, the top and the bottom dries, and you can put them right back in your car. I've got a bucket of soapy water here, and what this is for is a couple things on the inside. Anything that's rubber and removable, like this tray and your cup holder, and maybe even this piece of rubber back here. Anything that you can get out and drop in some soapy water, that'll make your cleanup a lot easier, because your spilled coffee residues and ketchup and mustard and everything that gets stuck down in there, you just let that soak, and you can pretty much just take a microfiber after that and wipe it up. Same thing for the rear cup holder. You can see we got some coffee in there, so we will remove this. Just squeeze and pull like so, and drop it in the soapy water. Now, I do recommend, before you pull anything like this out, if you want to take your vacuum, when you're vacuuming your floors, which these are not too bad, just a little bit of stuff around the edges. If you want to take your vacuum and vacuum that stuff out first, you can do that. In this case, we're just going to go ahead and pull this and dump it in our bucket of soapy water, because we've got a lot of extra capacity in our bucket. So dump it in there like so. There's a little tray back here. And lastly, the cup holder insert here in the front. Just squeeze and pull. It's a little bit tougher to get this one out because this fits in there nice and snug. So I'll pull one side up, work your fingers around to the other side. You work all the way around. Get your perimeter loose like that, and then squeeze the middle, pull it out. In the bucket it goes. All right, so we're gonna leave those soaking in there. That'll help the stains that have been built in and stuck in and dried in. They'll soften up while we're taking care of cleaning up everything else. So the only other thing I'm gonna use here, aside from my vacuum, which I'll just be using a standard shop vac with a hose. And I'll be using this detailing brush so I can work into the areas where there's little bits of dust, you know, like right in there and up in there where you can't really get to. And as you can see, the brush pulls a lot of those debris loose so you can get them sucked up in the vacuum, especially around your buttons. So you'll see me using a combination of the brush and the vacuum. I'm just going over this before I get started, so that way, if you're wondering what's going on, that's what's happening. Now, these little detailing brushes do a great job of getting in those nooks and crannies where otherwise you just couldn't get to. And with the vacuum, when you break the dust loose or move it or agitate it, the vacuum will actually suck it up out of there. So that's kind of what we're doing. That's what's going to be going on. Then after we do that, we'll move to the next step. All right, for our next step, we're going to be using this steamer. This is just a Bissell Steam Shot. These are available all over the place. Many companies make them. You can get them cheap as 20 bucks on Marketplace, sometimes cheaper. So we vacuum this area out in the window switch area, like down in here, all this stuff that won't come up out of there. And then these little crevices, we're just going to take the steamer with a little brush attachment, which just pops on and off. That's without the attachment. Squeeze the trigger back here. It's already plugged in and warmed up, and you'll see it puff out some hot steam. And that's what we're going to use to clean these areas up. After you hit it with some steam, just grab your microfiber towel that's clean and go back and wipe up the area. Remove any excess moisture. Also allows you to get any dirt or debris that was trapped down in there up and out of there. You can see it looks nice and clean. Got all wiped up there. So that one is good. You can also take your steamer if you've got like staining up along the top of your door panels from coffee or whatnot. Run it along those areas there. Some other good places for the steamer is if you've got junk stuck in between these cracks and crevices here, which I do down here where this cup holder is. So I'll be using the steamer down in this area to blast all this debris that I couldn't get out with the brush in the shop vac. Blast it loose and then we'll wipe it all up. Now if you don't have a steamer, you can also get a toothbrush and some hot water. Take the toothbrush and run it down in these grooves around your tight areas, and it'll help loosen that debris up, and you can work it around to the end and get it up out of there. Now because I've got some debris that's trapped in there and doesn't want to come out, I'm gonna put the brush attachment on and use that brush to agitate those areas like so. Be very careful because this steam is hot. Obviously it's boiling water, so you don't want to get it on your skin. If you're uncomfortable using the steamer like I am, be sure to put some thick gloves on to protect yourself. So this is where our interior is at right now. Do one more wipe down with a microfiber just to get any additional residue that may be left in there. You can see some down there in the tray. A little bit right there on top of the armrest. So we'll get all that wiped down. All right, so underneath the hood, you can see this engine bay has not been touched in quite some time. So you guys know that I have been teamed up with Super Clean for quite a little while. And this is their foaming spray. Go ahead and spray this engine bay down, and we'll come in and wipe all this dirt away. Oh, this is not the foaming one. This is the regular Super Clean spray. That's just fine. We'll let that sit for a little bit, and then we'll grab a microfiber and wipe it up. All right, it's starting to sprinkle on me. So the sprinkles are getting in the engine bay. But that is the finished product. Came out really good. Definitely looks a lot better than it did here when it was all nasty. Let's take a look inside. We got the mats and everything back in. Get the dash cleaned up. All the interior looking good. Has a seat cover that the owner had on to keep that seat protected, so I didn't take that off or clean underneath it. Rear floor mat, door panels. Oh yeah, it's my cup holder. Just go ahead and pop that back in there. Came out real good, nice and clean now. No more sticky residue in there. All right, good as new. So I hope you enjoyed this video and the quick tips and little trade secrets on how you can get dust out of the little nooks and crannies like up there and under the engine bay or in the engine bay, and all these little places to clean up and things you can pull out and drop in a bucket of soap while you're working everything else. And you can get your vehicle looking like this. I think this whole process took about 2 hours. That was the interior, doing the carpets. I used the extractor in the back to get rid of the the extractor in the back to get rid of the coffee, use the shop vac elsewhere. And on these floor mats, I actually use a product from the Dollar Tree. I'll put a link at the top of the screen to a video that I used that in previously. It's been several years ago. Still use that on the floor mats because it gets you a nice matte finish and it's not slick, which is very important for getting in and out of the car so you don't slip and break something. I think that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Be sure to check out my other videos. My name's Erwin. This is 3 Wheels in a Block, where we're giving back what time has taken away. We'll see you soon.